Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to the channel if you are new here. I'm Alexandra and I am back with a new speed building video for you guys. And in today's video we are building again with the beautiful Enchanted by Nature expansion pack, and we are building a whimsical fairies house that's somehow looking like a hobbit house, but it's not underneath the ground. And this is actually built with the early access version of the game that I previously had thanks to the Creators Network, so that's why the Create for Sims logo is popping up on the screen, and I'm sorry if that's uncomfortable for you. But from now on we will have builds and speed builds, in fact, without that logo, and I cannot wait to actually start building something for you with all the packs, not just this one. And I have to say that this build is done by using only base game and the Enchanted by Nature pack, and it's available on the gallery for you to download. I really hope that you will like it and that you will play in it. I know that some of you couldn't find it. I don't know what was the issue, but I posted some YouTube shorts about this build and some of you said that it was not on the gallery, but I was pretty sure that I uploaded, but somehow it wasn't there. So now it is. I made sure that you can get the build from there if you want to. And before saying more about this build, I would like to friendly remind you that if you want to get the new pack or any other pack from the EA app or thesims.com, I do have an affiliate code that you can use when you purchase any DLC. The code is Create for Sims, and I would really appreciate if you would choose to use it if you get this pack or any other pack that you're missing by now. And I'm thanking you so much for doing that. And yes, about this build, it's kind of tiny, as you can see. It's very green. I use a lot of the new items, obviously, because I've used only the Enchanted by Nature pack, and I have to say that first I wanted it to be like some sort of a hobbit house, but I couldn't place it underground because the lot is tiny, and I really wanted to play with the terrain manipulation, but actually I couldn't because this is a 20 by 20 lot. It's that beautiful lot on top of a huge tree, and I know everyone is obsessed with this lot, but unfortunately I didn't have the space I needed for what I had in mind, so I used the rounded roofs to make it look like a hobbit house, but actually it's not a hobbit house because, you know, it's not underground. But I really think it's a pretty house. I was having so much fun exploring all the new items, and definitely I was so excited to build on this lot. But part of me has to say that I really wished to have maybe another lot also on a tree, or maybe this one but bigger, at least a 30 by 20. Like, you know how I feel about tiny lots. I like sometimes, you know, small builds, but usually I go wild, and you know that I basically all the time use 20 by 30 or 40 by 30, so these are my comfort zone lots. And yeah, that's why I struggled with the landscape and everything that's outside, because this is a small house if you compare with what I usually build. But in fact we have kitchen dining and one master bedroom, one nursery and one room for a toddler. So I think it's a decent size. Maybe some of you will think that it's actually a big house, but for me it's not that big. And I'm happy about how it turned out. As you can see, I'm trying to make the back of the build with a rounded shape as well, and I kinda integrated some terrain manipulation because I elevated the foundation so it's looking like it's taller. But other than that, I couldn't like do anything else in the outdoor because yeah, I didn't have space. All I did for the landscape basically was to add stones and some plants and bushes, and that's it. I didn't actually had space to do the landscape as I usually do in my builds. But I'm more excited about the interior in this build. And why is that? Because it's looking so whimsical And even during the night when the lights are all on, it gives you such a magical feel. And I just adore all the spandrels and everything that I placed. You will see and we will talk about it. But as you can see, we're starting to work on the landscape now. As I said, I'm actually placing rocks on the edge of the lot because, as I said, I use the terrain manipulation and I wanted to make a pathway to the foundation, so I won't use stairs. And I really think that it's a very nice way to, work with the terrain, to have a pathway to the main door or to the back door instead of using stairs. I feel it gives a lot more detail to the whole build, and usually I'm doing that all the time. And yeah, about the decor outside, as you can see, a lot of greenery is happening because I'm obsessed with the new wall decorations with leaves, and also now we can snap flowers, plants, shrubs on the roofs. And that's a thing I was excited about, but I don't think I am so excited anymore because you can't now use the move object on roofs, and it's very hard to place things on top. But as you can see in this build, I placed some plants on the roof, and also a magical lamp that's looking like a tiny tree trunk, and I'm really happy about how that is looking on the roof of the build. And now I skipped to the interior furnishings because layering everything was so hard, so I cut out the floor plan. But you can see that we're starting to work with the kitchen and living space and dining, yeah, because they are somehow all in the same room, but we have this division between the rooms with the spandrels and columns, and I really am obsessed with how it's looking, as I said, when all the lights are turned on. So things that I've added here are dining tables, of course, the new kitchen set because it's very beautiful, a fireplace, couch, things that are normally in a living room basically, and also a chess table if I remember correctly. And on the first floor we also have one bathroom and the rooms for the children, because yes, fairies of course can have children, and if you are a fairy and you want to have a baby, there are high chance to be 100% fairy, the baby I mean, if your both sims are fairies. But if one of your sim is a fairy and the other one is a normal sim, there is only 50% chances for that baby to be a fairy. And I thought that it's really cool. I really want to check out to see how quickly can get a fairy baby. So yes, I really am happy that we can have fairy babies. They are not so different from the normal babies, but they will become as teenagers, actual fairies with wings. But until then, there are some particularities that make that baby, easy to live, like the bladder need and the hunger decrease slower, and I believe there are more details about that. And I like making rooms for babies and for toddlers, so that's why these two rooms are for one of each. And of course, I used the new set for the nursery and the new toddler bed. They are so cute, and I'm obsessed with cute things like this, whimsical things with the very dark wood furniture. And in fact, this pack has a lot of very woodsy furniture, I would say, and I really do enjoy using them. You know that I'm more into cottagecore and farmhouse and any kind of a style that's more traditional. And yeah, you got the point. I'm not into modern. That's what I'm trying to say. I love making modern builds once in a while, but this is my comfort zone. This dark brown on the furniture and dark wood on the floors. So yes, that's how I furnished these two rooms. And moving on, we will have a master bedroom on top of the build. It's a tiny space up there. I could only fit the double bed. And on the hallway we have the apothecary table. If your sim that's living here chooses to work with potions and to create cures. And yes, I really hope that you like this build, guys. You can download it from the gallery. My ID is great for Sims. And until the next time, I really wish you a great and an amazing day. And don't hesitate to leave a like, a comment, and a sub to the channel if you enjoyed this build. See you next time. Bye, everybody.